You stand at the precipice of romantic love, many of you with a heart overflowing, a spirit eager to give, a profound yearning for a connection so deep, so all-consuming, that it transcends all earthly bounds. You believe in a love that mirrors your own intensity, that reflects your own selfless devotion, a perfect symmetry of affection. You pour your essence into her. You see her as the singular embodiment of all your deepest desires, the answer to your existential loneliness, the ultimate prize in the human experience. You are ready to merge, to lose yourself in the intoxicating dream of absolute reciprocity. But what if this profound, idealistic vision of love, particularly the way you experience it, is a cruel and fundamental delusion? What if the intensity of your romantic yearning, the singularity of your focus, is inherently asymmetrical, destined never to be fully met by the object of your affection? What if, as the profoundly pessimistic, yet terrifyingly insightful philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer grimly revealed, women are, at their deepest, most unconscious level, master strategists for the species, rather than lovers in the idealized personal sense you often embody? This is not a cynical dismissal of all affection or a bitter condemnation of women. It is a stark, uncomfortable unveiling of a fundamental, biological, and psychological dynamic that, once understood, can shatter your romantic illusions and leave you with a haunting clarity. It is an invitation to strip away the comforting veneer of romantic idealism and confront a brutal truth that, according to Schopenhauer, lies at the heart of human relationships. Until you grasp this inherent disparity in the very nature of love, you will remain a captive of your own illusion, perpetually seeking a reciprocity that is, by design, impossible to achieve, and forever vulnerable to the profound disillusionment that inevitably follows. Schopenhauer's will to life, the primal engine of strategy. To comprehend this unsettling revelation, we must first immerse ourselves in the chilling philosophy of Arthur Schopenhauer and his central concept, the will to life. For Schopenhauer, the entire universe is governed by a blind, irrational, ceaseless, and insatiable striving force, the will to life, or in this context, the will to reproduction. This will is an unconscious, primordial urge that drives all existence, including, most powerfully, sexual love. Its ultimate, singular purpose is its own perpetuation, the endless, relentless continuation of the species, indifferent to the happiness or suffering of the individual. Here, Schopenhauer delivers his most unsettling blow to romantic idealism. Sexual love, the very passion you feel, is nothing more than the will to life manifesting itself in its most cunning and deceptive form. It is not a beautiful, unique connection for personal happiness. Instead, it is the species will using individuals as mere instruments, as unwitting pawns, to achieve its own blind, reproductive ends. The intoxicating feeling of romantic love, the intense attraction, the feeling of finding your soulmate, these are exquisitely crafted illusions, narcotics administered by the will to ensure propagation. You believe you choose her for her unique qualities. Schopenhauer would assert your conscious reasons are mere rationalizations for a deeper, unconscious imperative. The will to life is only interested in optimal offspring, the next generation. It manipulates your deepest desires, your very perception of beauty and destiny, to ensure the optimal genetic pairing. You are a wingless creature, crawling in circles, believing your ardent chase is for a unique feather, never realizing you fulfill a biological imperative. Your pursuit is driven by a hidden puppeteer. What true agency can you claim if your most profound desires are merely the cunning whispers of a blind, unconscious force? What freedom is there in pursuing love if your very passion is a sophisticated biological trick designed for procreation, not personal fulfillment? This understanding is Schopenhauer's chilling insight. Love, as we experience it, is a grand, elaborate deception played by nature upon the individual for the sake of the species. The male deception, the lover, ensnared. Schopenhauer's gaze turns specifically upon the male condition within this grand deception. For men, love manifests as an overwhelming, often irrational, and highly specific drive towards a particular woman. You are ensnared by the species' will, with fierce, almost obsessive intensity. You see her as unique, as irreplaceable, the singular key to your happiness. Your desire is focused, powerful, often leading to intense, self-sacrificial pursuit, a willingness to give all. You become a soldier seduced by the shimmer of his enemy's blade, believing it a glorious prize, never realizing it's an instrument for a purpose far removed from your personal well-being. This profound longing, this romantic idealization, compels you to overcome obstacles, to dedicate immense resources, time, money, effort, emotional energy all in singular pursuit of her. You are compelled to protect, provide, and impress, because the will has implanted the powerful illusion that your happiness and meaning are inextricably linked to possessing this specific woman. This is why men often idealize. This is why rejection feels existential. This is why men pursue endlessly, often against better judgment, driven by biological imperative, disguised as personal desire. The will uses your passionate longing, your capacity for singular devotion, to focus your resources on one optimal genetic pairing. It blinds you, makes you overlook flaws, imbuing the chosen woman with divine significance, ensuring your complete dedication to the reproductive imperative. Your very capacity for profound individual love is hijacked and weaponized against your personal freedom. What freedom exists in a desire so potent it feels like destiny, but is merely a biological mandate? What joy is found in a chase where the prize is valued for its generic utility to the species, not its specific intrinsic worth to you? Schopenhauer argued the male is thus profoundly duped by the will, driven by powerful illusion to propagate, mistaking this drive for ultimate personal love. The female imperative, the will's master strategist. Here is Schopenhauer's truly haunting revelation regarding the female condition, explaining why he saw women not as lovers in the same deluded sense as men, but as master strategists for the species. While the man is manipulated by romantic illusions, the woman, Schopenhauer contended, is the will's more direct, pragmatic, and utterly unconscious instrument. Her attraction and love are fundamentally strategic, focused on securing the best conditions, resources, protection, genetic fitness, social standing for future offspring, rather than personal romantic passion for the man himself. Her focus, driven by the species, will keenly assesses what the man represents for the future of the lineage. Is he capable of providing security? Is he strong and healthy for offspring? Does he possess good genes? Is he stable, reliable, socially capable? Her love is inherently more conditional, practical, and less personally focused on the man's individual spirit. It is a love that evaluates, assesses, and selects based on criteria serving the species' survival, not the individual man's romantic fulfillment. Schopenhauer further asserted that women possess an innate moral instinct for dissimulation, deception, in these matters, not out of malice, but necessity for species survival. Nature endowed them with intuitive prudence and cunning, a natural bent for deception to select the most advantageous mate. This is where the master strategist emerges, not a conscious, malicious plotter, but an unconscious, species-level calculation machine, evaluating partners for their utility to propagation. They do not truly love the individual. They orchestrate conditions for the species' next move. What crushing disillusionment awaits the man who believes he is loved for his unique soul, when he is primarily valued for his utility as a genetic contributor and provider for a future serving the species? What reciprocity exists when one loves with a selfless, personal ideal, and the other loves with a pragmatic, species-driven calculus, seeing the individual as a means to an end? This is the heart of Schopenhauer's haunting revelation, the fundamental asymmetry of love, where one is consumed by illusion, and the other is the clever, unconscious instrument of the ultimate illusionist. The will. The tools of the strategist, intuition, prudence, and the play. Schopenhauer believed women are uniquely equipped by the will to fulfill their role as master strategists through inherent tools. These are not learned tactics but deep-seated unconscious faculties. He emphasized their intuitive assessment of male fitness. While men are swayed by superficial beauty, women possess a deeper, intuitive capacity to assess a man's underlying strength, health, social standing, and potential as a provider, qualities essential for robust offspring. This intuition operates beyond conscious reasoning, a direct whisper from the will, guiding them to the most advantageous pairing. He pointed to their prudence in mate selection. While a man might rush into love based on intense feeling, women tend to be more cautious, more discerning, focused on long-term implications for raising children. This prudence is a strategic mechanism to ensure stability and security. It focuses on a man's demonstrated capability, reliability, and capacity for sustained provision. They evaluate the entire portfolio, not just emotional dividends. Finally, there is the play, an unconscious ability to leverage affection and desirability for security. Schopenhauer recognized women's power often lay in their desirability, their capacity to inspire intense, deluded love in men. This power allows them to set conditions, choose suitors, and secure advantageous positions. This isn't conscious manipulation, but an unconscious unfolding of the will's strategy. They accept the man not for his sake, but for the sake of the children, or potential for them, and the security he offers to that future. The love she offers is a profound biological drive that uses you as the necessary means to the will's end. What true love exists when one party subconsciously assesses utility for propagation, while the other is blinded by idealistic passion? What genuine connection is forged when one plays a strategic game for the species and the other believes it's a personal romance? The man, caught in his illusion, perpetually strives to win a love fundamentally different in nature, leaving him emotionally adrift, exploited by a dynamic he cannot see. The unseen transaction, the price of unconscious leverage. This dynamic creates an unseen transaction that carries profound emotional toll on men caught in the romantic illusion. The man, blinded by the will's enchantment, believes he is engaging in a personal, selfless exchange of love, loved for his intrinsic worth. But the haunting truth is he is often loved, not as an individual end, but as a means to a species-driven end. His affection, resources, and commitment are unconsciously leveraged for a strategic purpose, not reciprocated in the deeply personal way he imagines. This leaves men feeling perpetually used, unseen, and unfulfilled in their idealistic pursuit. They may offer deep devotion and loyalty, only to find affection received is conditional, pragmatic, and rooted in unconscious utility. This leads to quiet resentment, a sense of being perpetually shortchanged in love's grand bargain, because they believe they are playing a different game. Bitterness and cynicism often follow this shattered illusion. Men can become deeply disillusioned, retreating from relationships, convinced love is a lie. Women are manipulative when it's unconscious strategy, or their capacity for deep affection is a burden. This cynicism poisons future connection, perpetuating an endless, unfulfilling chase for an impossible ideal. What existential loneliness is more profound than believing you are deeply loved, only to realize love received is fundamentally different in nature from love offered? What psychological damage is inflicted by a life spent chasing a mirage of perfect romantic symmetry, unaware of the strategist at play? The unexamined nature of love, as Schopenhauer revealed it, leads men into a profound emotional quagmire, their deepest longings tragically misdirected. Breaking the will's chains, radical disillusionment, and self-sovereignty. So, how does one escape the tyranny of this will to life, this haunting deception of the strategist? Schopenhauer, being a pessimist, offered a grim yet intellectually liberating path: radical disillusionment. He argued true freedom, true escape from the endless, suffering-laden striving of the will, comes from understanding its mechanism and then deliberately detaching from its influence. His solutions were primarily intellectual and aesthetic, gaining knowledge of the will's true nature through philosophy and rigorous thought, and momentarily transcending individual desire through aesthetic contemplation. For the modern man, a literal adherence to Schopenhauer's asceticism might seem extreme. However, his core insight provides a powerful pathway to self-sovereignty. The power lies in knowing the truth, however painful. This means developing profound intellectual detachment from romantic illusions. It's not becoming emotionally cold, but seeing love for what it fundamentally is: a powerful, beautiful, but ultimately deceptive drive orchestrated by the species' will. This radical disillusionment is not easy. It's the terrifying act of pulling back the veil, seeing the puppeteer. It means accepting your intense, idealized love is a unique male burden and gift, and expecting an exact mirror will lead to disappointment. It means understanding her love operates on a different, more pragmatic frequency. This is the courage to embrace uncomfortable truth over comforting lies. This intellectual clarity is your shield against unconscious manipulation. What freedom can you claim if perpetually ensnared by an illusion causing endless suffering? What genuine connection can you forge if you refuse to understand the true nature of forces at play, the master strategist at work? The path to breaking the spell is the path of knowledge, however bitter its taste, leading to profound self-sovereignty, beyond the will's grasp. Choosing conscious connection. So, what does this haunting revelation mean for modern men seeking love? It means shifting your paradigm from the romantic ideal of perfect reciprocity to a more grounded, honest understanding of love's true nature. It means reclaiming your own sovereignty, not by abandoning love, but by approaching it with clear eyes and profound self-awareness. Firstly, cultivate radical self-possession and purpose independent of her. Stop making her the sole vessel for your fulfillment. Understand your intense desire is often the will's trick. Anchor your life in your own mission, values, and creative endeavors. When you pursue your own purpose, your own self-authorship, your attraction becomes magnetic, not needy. This is the man who embodies sovereignty, drawing others in, not desperately chasing. Secondly, redefine reciprocity not as identical feeling, but as mutual respect and shared purpose. Acknowledge her love, while perhaps not your idealized fervor, can be genuine and valuable for its own purpose. Seek a partner who respects your sovereignty, shares your values, contributes meaningfully to a life you build together, and appreciates you for who you are, not just what you provide. This is a conscious choice for partnership based on tangible alignment and mutual contribution, not a phantom ideal of merged souls. Thirdly, embrace disillusionment as liberation. Recognizing love as a biological imperative doesn't diminish its beauty entirely, but it strips away its most painful illusions. This allows engagement in relationships with open eyes, understanding underlying currents, protecting you from profound heartbreak. Appreciate the beauty of the experience without being enslaved by deceptive promises of perfect mirroring. This intellectual clarity is your shield. Finally, direct your intense capacity for love, that profound masculine yearning, not solely towards a single individual as an ultimate end, but also towards creative pursuits, philosophical inquiry, self-mastery, and contribution to the world. Channel that immense energy into building a life of purpose and meaning independent of any external validation. When your deepest love is for your own becoming, truth, and contribution, your interactions with others come from abundance, not desperate need. The path beyond Schopenhauer's haunting revelation is not one of cynical isolation, but radical self-awareness and courageous redefinition of love. It demands you shed romantic illusions that kept you enslaved to a false promise of perfect reciprocity. It requires you to understand the will's game and refuse to be its pawn. Will you continue to chase the illusion of a love that perfectly mirrors your own, perpetually seeking reciprocity? That is, by nature, unachievable, leading to endless frustration and disillusionment. Will you remain a wingless creature, caught in the will's deceptive currents, a mere instrument for its strategic agenda? Or will you have the immense courage to look upon Schopenhauer's chilling revelation with clear eyes, to dismantle the comforting myths that bind you? to step into the terrifying, yet infinitely rewarding work of truly knowing yourself, owning yourself, and embodying your full, integrated, sovereign power, so that you attract not a user of love, but a true partner in life, one based on conscious respect, even in the face of nature's grand strategy. She can't love you the way you love her. But understanding why she acts as the will's strategist is the first step to truly loving yourself and attracting a connection that is genuine, however imperfect. Reclaim your sight.